Morning. Today we're going to do something that we haven't done in quite some time. I was gifted an iPhone 11 to give to my daughter. Gary over at Contractors POV sent this over because it's got a cracked display and the battery just doesn't hold a charge anymore. So I picked up some parts off of Amazon and I'm going to replace the screen and the battery today. Now I'm kind of excited about this because not only did I buy a battery and a screen replacement, but I bought the iFixit repair kit. iFixit did not sponsor this video, but I just wanted to try out their tools and see what the difference is between iFixit's tools and the tools you would get from any other random place on Amazon. Let's get into the unboxing of the parts and the replacement of this iPhone screen. All right, so here you can see we have our iPhone 11. There's cracks all along the screen. I'm going to verify that it's still functioning. It's been a minute since I've turned it on. As you can see, the logo comes up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the back of this phone. It's brilliant. This phone is going to be for my daughter as a Christmas present. We see everything's working. I'm just going to immediately turn it back off. And we're going to get to unboxing the iFixit toolkit. I've got a glass screen protector that's going on. And this is the display. So this will have our battery in it. And I chose an iFixit battery because I'm worried about that third-party aftermarket issue that you can have with iPhones from time to time, where the phone gets mad at you. Hoping to avoid that. So in this box, we've got our precision bit driver, the Penelope P2, Phillips tri-point suction handle, opening tool, angled tweezers, and spudger. Repair is noble. I am all about right to repair on any device, and I try to do so when possible. If I could find parts for my Surface Duo 2, I'd replace the back for you guys. So if you know of any places I can find parts for Surface Duo 2, let me know in the comments down below. Pointy stick, get our tweezers, pull tool, screwdriver. Be taking advantage of all of these today. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay them out. This, of course, is the repair part. This is the battery. I think this particular iPhone was holding a 78% charge or some such. Looks like we've got new sealer for the screen. That's good. Here's our battery. Put all this over here. There's our battery. And it's an iFixit branded battery. Now, again, they didn't sponsor this video versus anything else. So I know that first, and I like that. That's really nice. It just kind of sticks in there magnetically. Good, comfortable grip. The end rotates to keep your hands from getting hurt. And I'll have links to all this stuff down in the comment section. This was a highly rated LCD. Sorry, this is an iPhone 10, not an iPhone 11. Apologies, guys. It's been a while since I even got the device, so I couldn't remember. But iPhone 10, she's got an iPhone 7 now. This is going to be a huge jump for her. There's our screen, more adhesive, which is nice, and a bunch of the tools that we are not going to be using. We are going to use our iFixit tools. Yeah. You've got your two screws here. longer than I guess some of the previous versions. Really long. Now that those are out, let's take one more look at the screen here. So this is the top of the screen, this is the bottom of the screen. I have these three wires that I have to worry about that are over on this side. So when I'm prying over here, I'm going to be very careful not to mess these up. Over here, seems like it's free game, so we may start on this side here. Now there are ways to do this where you heat the phone up and all that stuff, but I am going to try it just by prying to begin with. Start at the bottom here. Trick with using these is you've got to have surface area that's not cracked, which on this phone is kind of difficult to do. And again, normally heat would be our friend here, but we're going to try to do this without it. Not everybody's got a heat gun. So this is just a metal version of this. I don't recommend using this inside the device. I'm just going to try to get in underneath something. There we go. Now that we've got a lip, kind of add the plastic bits here. Good. Up. Again, see there's those cables right there that we're trying to avoid messing up. And we're in. Some of that rubber here that, or the glue that's going to be replaced. So with the device open, we're going to switch our tool over to the three-pointed tip because there are a lot of three-pointed screws that we have to take out. Tweezers. Now, what I like to do with my parts, as I'm taking them out, I align them off to the side and then any part that I take off, put next to them so that I kind of know where they go. Now, on one of my previous videos where I was repairing a switch, somebody made the comment that they were impressed that I knew where everything went. Mostly because of this reason here. How well you can see this, but there's two different size screws just on removing this one shield. There we go. So now we see all of these different connectors. We're going to remove the connectors for the screen. And the battery, since we're replacing both. This cable here we have to be very careful with because that cable has to go onto the new phone. Angle this way. Apple has started selling and renting all the supplies needed to make these repairs, along with the screens. I didn't price any of that since this is a one-off repair phone that my daughter's going to receive. But that is available from Apple. All right, so doing some investigation off screen, I can see that this right here is actually the cable. Need to remove. The cable's being held onto the phone with glue, and this always makes me nervous because I'm worried that I'm going to rip the cable. So with that out of the way, we do need to take this whole section off. I've already removed some of the screws, and I think it's just a matter of prying the pieces out. Okay, there. Now there's our earpiece assembly. Then we're going to need all these little bits too because they go in here. And here. I'm just gently prying. It looks like in this case, we'll need to get down here as well and get a little screen piece. Getting some light pressure underneath the part. And slightly modify this. Hope that I just didn't ruin it. All right. Next up, we have little fella. Instead of mounting the plastic into the screen and then putting the earpiece in, I'm going to put the earpiece into the plastic part and then put the plastic part into the foam. There we go. There we go. So now we've got all of our pieces on there. Everything's lined and set up. One final screw back in. And the display is done. So we'll put that to the side because now comes the fun part. Now I've got to get this battery out. So with the battery, they provided this guitar pick, which see how well that works. So we're going to try the iFixit tool. And this is another thing where if you have heat, always better have heat. Or I've seen instances of people putting a little isopropyl alcohol underneath the battery. I want to be careful and not puncture the lithium ion battery. That would not make for a fun day. Quite honest, I'm not 100% sure which one of those is for the battery, so I'm just unplugging them all to be safe. Gentle prying. Go. One part. And again, this is what our replacement battery is going to look like. All I'm doing is just pushing the spludger in just a little bit, prying upwards, taking time. I don't puncture the battery. On this one, I'm going to use tweezers very carefully, angled away from the battery. Try to pull out some of the adhesive. It'll help us along this journey a little bit. Almost done. There we have it. Out with the old. The iFixit battery, you can see here, comes pre-installed with adhesive. Just a matter of tying it down, and we're not going to plug it in yet, obviously, because we still have work to do. That is where she goes, right there. Now the fun part begins. Clean out all of that adhesive from the old display. And we'll probably just fast forward straight through this part for you. Okay, and that's it. Now, we have the option of using the iFixit branded or the stuff that came with the screen. So this is the iFixit stuff because that's the battery, and that's what we're going to use. This should be pretty straightforward here. At this point, I'm trying to get the adhesive to stick to any part of the inside of the phone. This is kind of a delicate process as this is what is needed to keep the phone sealed and to help keep water out of the phone. In my case, if this fails, I have 3M double-sided tape I can use. All right, now all that's left reattach cables. What I'd like to do here is I'd like to use tweezers, but I don't have any plastic tweezers. And I don't recommend sticking metal out of here. Cables all under. All right, and before we put everything back together, one test. See, got a screen. All of our cables are in place. Just a matter of getting our screws back. All right, one final check. Our battery is now at 100%. We're just going to seal this up. Switch back to our pentalobe bit. Now I'm going to do one final piece, which is install a screen protector, because we're going to wrap this up and give it to our daughter for Christmas. So one more power on. There we go. Our battery's at 100% capacity. Touch seems to be working on the screen. Check, 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 1, 2. Speaker works there. Check, check. All right, we seem to be good to go. So there's my first attempt at repairing an iPhone 10. We've replaced the battery and replaced the screen, and I put a screen protector on here. Now this is going to get bundled up for my daughter for Christmas. As always, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I have making it. My name is Bryant. This is Reviews for Nerds. Have a great day.